Imagine going in for your yearly mammogram, getting the results, being told everything's fine, and then a few short weeks later being diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Well, that's what happened to Dr. Nancy Capello. Nancy's story led to new legislation and to the creation of the nonprofit group Are You Dense? And she's here with us today. Nancy, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for being here.
Listen, tell us more about your story, because unfortunately for you, this was caught at a very advanced stage.
Yes. It was 2004, and I was a very faithful patient, so I went for my yearly mammogram. It came back normal. And about 2 months later, I went for my annual exam, and when my gynecologist was feeling my right breast, she said, you know, Nancy, I know you just had a mammogram, but I feel a ridge. I want you to go back and have another mammogram and an ultrasound. So I did, and interesting enough, I didn't have breast cancer in my family. I was very healthy. I ate, I exercised every day, so I felt that I was going to be fine. Well, sure enough, the interesting thing was the ultrasound picked up an inch tumor, yet the mammogram still, at that advanced stage, which was later found at stage 3, saw nothing.
Scary, which is why you are telling women to be in tune with your own bodies and know what to look for, because you know, these things may not be detected by a mammogram.
Exactly.
Did you feel any symptoms at that point or no?
No, actually I was in great health. And again, an interesting thing is that it's important to always do what you can do in order to keep healthy. So I ate healthy, I exercised daily, I was a great patient. The interesting thing was that what I found out since then was when I was first diagnosed, I said to my breast surgeon, well, why didn't the mammogram find the cancer? And she said, well, Nancy, you have dense breast tissue, and mammograms are limited in finding cancer. That was the first time I ever heard about that. And here I am, a healthy patient, a very informed patient, and yet I had a late-stage diagnosis because the mammogram failed to find the cancer.
All right, explain this to us, because apparently for younger women, the more dense their breasts are, right? And mammograms have a tough time detecting cancer in dense breasts. That density, you lose some of that as you get older.
Absolutely.
Right? But unfortunately, we are seeing cases of breast cancer in younger women.
Absolutely. We have to find better screening tools to find cancer early. The reason why mammograms aren't given for younger women is because typically, as you said, younger women have dense tissue, which means that on a mammogram, dense tissue appears white, cancer appears white. Thus, there's no contrast to detect the cancer. As in my case, I was 51 years old. My breasts should be more fatty, but they were not. And many women, in fact, the statistics is 2/3 of premenopausal women and 1/4 of postmenopausal women have dense tissue, and mammograms are limited. Now, ultrasounds can increase detection up to 30% for women with dense tissue, and that was the first law that we passed in 2005, a year after my cancer diagnosis.
We have a couple of photos here that I just want to show. That this top one, if we can just zoom in on these, is when you were going through one of your chemotherapy treatments.
Yes, is beautiful.
You look absolutely stunning, as you do in this bottom photo, and you are wearing a wig in here. So see, ladies, there are gorgeous wigs out there too. You look beautiful. And look at you now. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling great. Again, I'm very cautious of my health. I am always seeing a doctor to make sure that if cancer is caught, it's caught early, because that's critically important. Early detection saves lives.
Tell us about this organization, though, Are You Dense, and what does it do for women?
Well, Are You Dense? In fact, we have a website. It's areyoudense.org, and I would certainly hope that your listeners would get on the website. There's a lot of information. Are You Dense is dedicated to informing women about breast density. And by informing women about breast density, we are really about early detection. And it also it supports research to find tools to find cancer early in women with dense tissue.
What questions do you think women should be asking their doctors?
Well, in fact, on my website, there is a brochure which informs women about what do they do. Exactly that question, Sonia. What do you ask your doctor? When you go for your yearly mammogram, which you should do, ladies, what do you ask your doctor? You need to find information about your own breasts. There is a report that the radiologist writes to your doctor, which tells all about your breasts. It tells you about your breast density. The problem is most women don't know that. That's why this year we passed legislation. Governor Ralph signed legislation
Tell
this
us about this bill, and how will this change things?
This will really change things, Sonia. We are thrilled about it because it's the first bill in Connecticut that will automatically inform women about their breast density through their mammography report. There's no more need to say, what is my breast density? How come I don't know about it? Because what this will do is will open up conversations between the doctor and the patient, and it will standardize the communication of breast density in the state. Critically important for the early detection of breast cancer. We need to save lives.
Are you seeing a higher rate, and this might be tough to generalize, but among younger women being affected by this?
Well, it's interesting. I belong to a support group in Waterbury at the Harold Lever Center, and I'm the oldest woman in my support group. We have women that are in their 20s that are diagnosed with breast cancer, and clearly because they don't have mammograms, and they typically will find it on their own. That's why women really need to be informed about their own breasts. Make sure that they know what their breasts look like.
And what to look for, too.
Exactly.
What do you look for? What should we be looking for?
You certainly have to make sure if there's any changes in your breast, and if you really feel in your heart and soul that something is not right, you have to be diligent and really fight for that detection. You have to say, you know what, I'm going to go for a second opinion, or I really think there's something really wrong here. I really want you to check it out and give me that biopsy. I'd rather have a biopsy that comes back being fine than having to have a late-stage diagnosis, because again, when you have a late-stage diagnosis, my chance of recurrence are greater than a woman who has not had cancer, and I am at risk of dying of breast cancer because I've had a late-stage diagnosis. Should never have happened, and my passion and my goal is to make sure that women are informed about this, and it won't happen to any other woman.
And you're certainly not letting it hold you back. I mean, look at you. You look great. You're doing great. You have a very special event coming up. Tell us about that.
We have a music festival that's going to be at Lake Quasapag in Middlebury, Connecticut on September 12th. And we have the Rascals. I don't know if you remember the Rascals, but Groovin', It's a Beautiful Morning. They are great.
Oh, fun.
They have great hits. All-day music starting at 11, ending around 8 o'clock. You can buy tickets online at our website. Again, it's rudense.org. It's going to be a phenomenal event.
Yeah, we have the information on the screen. The Are You Dense Music Fest at the Quasi Amusement Park in Middlebury, Saturday, September 12th. If you want more information, you can always come to our website, WTNH.com, and you just click on the Connecticut Style link. Dr. Nancy Capello, we wish you all the best.
Oh, Sonia, thank you.